Oh, just a vault. Nice. Don't have to worry about those sons of guns anytime soon. And I will, in fact, just head the other direction. Fantastic. Yeah, even Yaks can't talk back. Ain't got nothing on me. Convoker is dead almost immediately. You love to see it. You know, I was going to turn on other skills along with this bow training, but it's kind of working out fantastically for me, so I wouldn't mind attacking a little bit faster. Like, we're already down to 0.9 for the time per attack. So maybe we keep this turning a bit longer. I think 0.7 is the min delay on a longbow, so stormbow as well. Let's double check that. It is 0.7, so that's awesome. It's because turn count speedruns count player turns and not aughts. A swing of bread used more than 10 aughts, so more time passed per player action. So you took fewer actions to make time pass. So it's okay, it's a swing slowly that you actually want. Because it's just over a turn, but aughts aren't counted. That makes sense. That's the type of little strat, though, that I absolutely adore speedrunning communities for. I love when they figure out these niche little uses for mechanics that make a huge difference when you're dealing with such a... Oh, can I kill you? Oh, just barely. But when you're dealing with such small gains and just trying to optimize every tiny aspect of the game, you get some really cool kind of follow-up behavior that falls out from doing so, which is always really neat stuff. Okie dokie. Let's blast our way through the rest of these sons of guns. No real issues whatsoever. Fantastic stuff. And yeah, you could spend 150 aughts in 10 turns instead of 15. See, that's cool. Probably not exactly how things were intended, but very cool that it works out that way. And there we go. We get as much attention as we can possibly find, and then we just try our best to ruin everyone's day. Oh, I do need to kill the Frostheart before I continue to get absolutely styled on in terms of the ice damage, the extra ice damage, I should say. But you know what? This works too. Let's just get back so we only have 3 walls surrounding us instead of the 6. That's not too shabby. And then once more back into our lovely corridor here. Corridors will now be our best friends for the rest of the run, seeing as how they vastly increase the Stormbow's potential damage output. Truly incredible. Yeah, Rajengo. The odds of taking more odds returns gets more. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. There's some pretty neat tricks for taking as many aughts or turns as possible. And yeah, they all kind of just add up over time to make a pretty significant, well, I guess a relatively significant effect on your overall time. That's really neat. Very, very cool stuff. At some point, I'd like to get into a game to the point of a speedrunner, to the same level as a speedrunner, because I always have found it very neat and very interesting, but I've just never really gotten my foot in the door to really start trying a speedrun to any meaningful capacity. So one day, might have to give it a shot. And DCSS is a pretty good contender for that, just because of how much I played the game, have a decent understanding of it. Wonder how broken Summon Corridor would be as a spell. Oh, just truly incredible. That is a life changer if that was made available. You mean pass wall is still a thing? Very true, very true. But okie dokie, that is vaults down to 4. That kind of went by in a breeze. Do I want to get more experience before we continue on? I mean, I think there's something to be said for going to Elf. Potentially gain a few more evocables. I'd love to get the Condenser Vein and at least a tin of Tremor Stones or Box of Beasts. I guess Box of Beasts is the one that I put a little more stock in. A little bit higher on my tier list of evocables at the very least. It would be fairly scary. I might want to switch back. Let's see, would I rather have a Pip of Fire Resistance and Corrosion Resistance or Reflection? Because Reflection gets pretty wild in that scenario. That's a bit of a toughie for me for sure. In general, though, our resistances are good across the board. We'd have to be slightly careful of any negativity that's thrown our way. Make sure we deflect that with some positive vibes. Or I guess we do have at least the ring that we can swap to. You know, the good vibes only ring. So there is that to help us out. Let's maybe swap back to the bow, and we'll head to Elf real quick and just see how it's looking as we begin our adventure here in Elf. I mean, that's a lovely start. Anytime I see a corridor, I am a happy ant, to say the least. And we should be able to blast our way through the majority of this. It's tempting to do some manual aiming so that I'm actually taking full advantage of my bow, but I'm also lazy. Those two parts of me are going to be at war this entire run, it seems. Oh gosh, those Zephyrmancers really did not have a good time. Still have over 700 arrows, so we don't have to worry about running out of those anytime soon here. Should love to see. Oh, hello friends, all on the other side of the wall. Oh gosh, there are a lot of you though. How about that? Hey Callie, thank you so much for the 11 months. Almost a full year, holy moly, but always fantastic to see you. Hope you're having a great weekend, and thank you so much for dropping on by and dropping the sub. I greatly appreciate it, to say the least. Okie dokie. Oh, no, we're killing this son of a gun. Again, I don't know where the entrance to this weird little vault area is, so speak of the devil. There's the entrance to this little vault thing. Well, how about that? Let's get back on the road real quick. Even this tiny corridor is probably better than nothing at all, so let's pop in here real quick if we could. For but a brief moment. I was hoping to be able to hit all of our elf casters here, but that's fine, I guess. Not the end of the world. And there we go. Fantastic. Then just back on the road once more. I think that this will be a fairly quick trip through at least Elf 1 and 2. Things might get a little bit rougher in Elf 3, or when summoners come around, because I have to start manually aiming for once in my life. Can't just use the auto fight key forever. Truly a sad time when you can't just spam P until the end of your days, you know what I mean? Like, how am I supposed to get by in life with such tedium? You know what I mean? I know, I have such a hard life. It's so difficult pressing 2 keys instead of 1. Oh no, your sympathies aren't with me. Don't know what could break you. Truly the saddest thing I've heard in my existence. But enough ragging on the same joke over and over again. I guess there's not a lot else to talk about when things are going this smoothly, except maybe making good mention that this might be a time for us to try and engage in some of that active anti-hubris thinking patterns, because things might start getting real rough real quick if we're not careful with ourselves. First Annihilator goes down. Never know how that encounter's going to go when we're first starting off. At least we're a little bit overpowered for where we've been going into Elf recently. And so we should be in a decent spot to blast our way through. Let's see. Oh, and we've gone up in arrows, right, because elves have a bunch of arrows on them. That's sick. This will work out quite nicely for us then. Glad we made it. You're somewhat sad that Ajib's wand power got nerfed? Oh, did it really? Getting acid wanded out of the world made some memorable moments. How shall new players learn to respect acid? Or, you know, just learn to put respect on Ajib's name. That's why Ajib is one of the baddest uniques you'll ever meet here in the Deep Dark Dungeon, because it truly is a nightmare to behold when they have Ice Blast, Acid, even Mind Burst on an early character. I mean, I've been fooling around in some of the sprints recently, and there's one of them. Is it Sonya's one? I think it's Sonya's sprint that starts in a room with a room that has a Jib in it, and generally your character is just immediately murked by whatever wand they have. You have to get super lucky, Or just be a troll. Troll berserker, ideally. Because that's definitely one of the more, I guess, RNG heavy sprints amongst the group there. But you're telling me that no longer will a Jib plague every moment of my existence with fear and misery? That just doesn't feel right, you know? Thought we lived in a society. More specifically, a society of fear and constant panic and worry. Pretty much just like real life. Okay, let's make sure we're getting the piercing through the summons real quick. Fantastic. There's something in the... Okay. No, of course I won't... DCSS, don't get it twisted. You know who I wanted to shoot. Fantastic. There we go. Much more better. We should have nice over 1,000 stack of arrows here for once we leave the area. Again, that will be a huge advantage for the future. We can use the Stormbow a little more prodigiously without having to constantly worry about running out of ammunition. Which again, all you trunk players are now laughing in trunk, as it were. Oh, to be but a sweet summer child that worries about ammunition. But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you slice it, that is where we are still currently at here. And by gosh, we'll do our best to make it work at the end of the day. Jeez Louise, friend, you're doing all right for yourself. That elementalist was nightmare and a half, but there we go, managed to make it through in one piece. Now I just have to take out all these baby flying daggers. Ooh, a falchion too. Who gave you the big boy knife? Enchant weapon scrolls probably won't be doing it here. And with wand changes, it would not only teach to respect acid, but light and quicksilver. So the light wands I've heard of, they're quicksilver ones in trunk? Ooh, that's kind of wild. So you can actually get rid of enemy buffs now with a wand. No longer need Yaras, hey? Huh. Well, that's a ride and a half. But let's see, a nice scroll of acquirement here in Elf 2. What do we get? +4 quick blade. Not quite, close but no cigar. Spirit amulet with Rampage, Arlec, and RC. Ooh, again, kinda garbage. I guess we take 695 gold. It's not a great little bonus cash flow here, but it's better than the rest of this garbage, so I guess that's gonna be it for us, and that should be pretty much the floor. Fantastic. Wand of Light is so good and so nasty when an enemy generates with it. I can imagine. Yeah, I'm excited for the new wands for sure. Acid Light and Quicksilver are mutually exclusive. Only one of them is in each game. Ooh, that's very interesting. I like that. A bit more run-specific flavor being kind of drizzled on top. That's very neat. I like it. Heal wounds potions, don't mind if I do. It's relatively cheap while we're at it. Ah. I see what version of Elf 3 we got here. Probably don't want to lose too many arrows to deep water, so let's be slightly cognizant of that, but at the same time, can't exactly give those high priests even a moment of respite. You just gotta go for that heavy murder energy. There we go. I think we blocked off the only door. If we find any more, hopefully, I have the reflexes to stop before Auto Explorer takes us trouncing into deep behind enemy lines. Very optimistic of me to even imagine, but miracles can happen, I'm sure. And we'll just go to this lovely little corridor that is completely wasted as enemies refuse to come get some, but still no real issues at the end of the day. Fantastic. Acid of Light have arguably stronger effects, but Quicksilver does slightly more damage to compensate. And I like the idea of Quicksilver as well. Being able to take buffs off an enemy with a melee class character where you can't get Yara's Violent Unraveling, that's neat stuff. I like it. And yes, one that deals in more damage than Acid. That's always the thing with Acid though, is it has that higher base, But I'm a sucker for Ice Blast. I'm actually probably more of an Ice Blast stan than I am Acid. As incredible as Acid is, and don't get me wrong, it is incredible. There's something about the unavoidability of Ice Blast that gets me. When I think in general, does Ice Blast always have a higher top end? Because it starts off as 3d7, and the Acid Wand is 4d5, so it has just one whole damage more. Whoop whoop. But I feel like it always slightly outpaces at a similar rate. I could be wrong with that. Also need to quickly check my phone here. Perfect. Just make sure that there isn't some terrifying emergency that I have to take care of, but we're looking all fine and dandy. I guess, okay, before I continue going here and risk my life, limb, and anything else that's attached to myself, am I able to deal with everyone? Blade Masters are going to be a pain in the butt. Master Archers are also going to have some ridiculous damage output that I'm not sure I am quite capable of dealing with, so we could leave Elf 3 for the moment here. I guess we're real close to that min delay on bows, just biding our time, waiting and watching, and it's almost here. You know what? After how well the start of Elf went here, I think I'm going to take a page from, I think it was pretty much half of chat. I think we were pretty divisively split on whether Elf was worth it whatsoever. And this time I'm going to go by the idea of we're too strong, or we're strong enough to go through Elf, so we don't really need to. And let's instead head back to the dungeon, shall we? I feel like, yes, this floor might be worth exploring now that we're a little stronger. There's probably going to be some treasure in here. Also probably some scary, scary monsters, but... or, you know, some kobolds. That's cool too. Sorry, I don't mean to throw shade on you kobolds. You're very tough, you're very strong, and I'm very scared of you. But, not too bad, not too bad. Kind of just blitz our way through if this is what we're mostly going to be coming up against. 8 scrolls of magic mapping is huge. Hey, a bit of Death Knight action. I guess we'll just kind of ignore you to start off, and there we go. Oh yeah, Skeletal Warriors. I would have been so upset if we tried to go through here. I mean, especially when we first came around. D11 is way too early for all of these sons of guns. But now, no real issues. Love to see it. Although dealing most damage is a bit inconvenient, with it also being only one of those you'd want to point at your own face. Paralyze and Charm Wands also came mutually exclusive. That one makes a lot of sense, because they also, yeah, kind of cover, there's a lot of overlap in usability cases. That's interesting. But Dr. Pirate, if you're strong enough to beat up an elf, you're probably strong enough to take that toddler's candy. I know, I guess it depends on the toddler, right? If it's some, like, little Hercules style action, then oh me oh my. Might be getting a bit of a run for your money. But there we go, and now I think we're pretty safe to head down to D14. Fantastic, and even all the way to the end here. Take it away. Not too shabby whatsoever. What else is awaiting us here in the final little vault section for the depths door? Ooh, some polymorph action, but nothing we can't handle at this stage in our game. Still little light on defenses. I mean, if we were a caster, 27 would be pretty wild for AC, but as a melee character, we might want to be a little bit cautious that we could take some huge damage in a relatively short amount of time. Of course, hope for the best, but always good to plan for the worst while you're at it. And let's see how she goes, shall we? I mean, it's a good start to say the least. Ooh, and there is either Silence or Brand Weapon, the other one of the pair. So do we want to run upstairs? Can also drop those bolts finally, but do we want to run upstairs and grab one of those ID scrolls we left behind, maybe? It might be that time. I guess we won't worry about it right away. Silence could be a difference maker, don't get me wrong, but that aside, we should do all right. So as long as Earth Elementalists are taken out, we can do corridor shenanigans. So, the name of the game, the goal of the hour, is to definitely take out those sons of guns as quickly as we possibly can. There you are. Perfect. And now we can abuse the corridor to our heart's content. Just the way Gozag intended, of course. And that is absolutely lovely. Everyone getting distracted by gold on their way. If we could all focus just long enough to form an orderly line in front of my arrows, then I would appreciate it. But I guess let's not complain over a good thing. Don't look the gift horse in the mouth. So that's how you gonna get bit, from what I understand. And once again here, we'll take our new friends on but a small hike, just a short day trip really. Don't even need good running shoes or nothing, and that is perfect. Well, yeah, you kind of wish that you wouldn't manage to win with Formicid, or that I wouldn't win with Formicid before the next version, and then I could use the giant spike clubs. All right, and that's something Ninth has been trying to help me out with for the longest time here, is telling me if I just push off Formicid, then they get super strong in just a wee bit here, and I'll be happy with it. But unfortunately, I've signed myself up for this style of going through all the species in order, and so what can I say? I'm a sucker for sticking with my ways here. Oh, you petrify. Oh, that's very cute, my friend. For a second there, I thought I was confusing you with the crystal tome, and I was panicking slightly. But no real worries whatsoever, and just beautiful. Just look at that. You ever seen something quite so wonderful in your life as Stormbow in a full 7-tile length hallway? We don't need another condenser vein. We can definitely leave that son of a gun alone for now, and we'll just keep blasting. This is our life now. We are a Gatling gun that shoots lightning arrows. And kind of here for it. And this is awesome because now we can abuse some deep water mechanics real quick just to get all of our friends to line up just so. In fact, let's again focus down the Earth Elementalist, since they're liable to ruin my day when I'm trying to do some sick things. In regards to Stormbow shenanigans, fantastic. And absolutely wonderful. Now this is where, again, hubris is gonna start to come into play, because I can feel it bubbling. I can feel the confidence. It's a burbling and bubbling, and it is about to overflow. Let's see what you require. Please be like 10 blinking scrolls. I think we've even found a significant number of blinking scrolls so far in this journey. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll happen, because I believe someone mentioned a while back that it won't ask for useless things, but an ant can dream, you know? What do you want? +2 gold dragon scales? There's like no shot that I ever find that, but if I do, you'll probably not be the first to know, because I'll probably want to wear them. If I find a second pair of gold dragon scales, you'll be the first to know, treasure trove. And that's a promise you can hold me to. Ooh. Angry trees, but trees are also kind of sick because our Earth Elementalist troll friend here can't do diddly squat with those. So that's pretty awesome. Colgate, well, at least there's Necromancy rework, and next version probably comes out before I'm done with Mummy. And regardless, I'm very excited for the Necromancy rework to get some fresh changes. I've seen a little bit of it watching Ninth, but I'm sure there are a lot of surprises yet to come that I haven't quite gotten the opportunity to check out yet, so I'm very excited for that for sure. Legitang of Electrocution. And these kids don't fool around. I'll probably switch to Lightning Rod here, since it at the very least is unavoidable. That's oftentimes a determining factor when you're fighting Spriggans. Oh, but there's another one with Legitang of Pain this time. Well, how about that? Let's start you off with a bit of an Ice Blast. That was not great. early potion petitions. I'll spend the 5 extra gold for no reason because I accidentally chose the wrong heal. Can I dig through trees? No. And exactly, Dr. Pirate, that's 100% what I'm concerned about, what I'm dreading. Okie dokie, what do we do against you? Fear Scrolls don't work against the Spriggans, so I need some unavoidable damage if possible. If not, I guess what are the actual odds of us hitting you? It's a 50-50. Only have to hit you a few times. What are my odds of hitting you with a throwing net? 30%? Let's give it one shot. Gosh darn it. Not quite. Back to feeling a little trickier. I guess we still have the 30% shot with something like Curare. If we get the slow off on you, then we can kind of head this way, even though heading off into the unknown doesn't seem like the best way to go about it. Also, what the heck? I didn't realize I went from 0 to 7 potions of heal wounds over the course of this session. DCSS apparently has some wild plans in store for us. But let's go with this. We're hitting the Frost Giant, hoping that we get some electricity arcs to go through our other Spriggan friend. Not as much as I would like. Curing magic and heal wounds. Let's go with just the heal wounds, I guess. Yeah, and this is a wee bit of a problem, to say the least. I'm gonna be taking way more damage than I would like. Heal wounds, curing, and magic. We'll go for it. And what can I do here? Let's go with Condenser Vein, hope for some good clouds. Poison works. And now I do just have to stay alive. That's still an important part of this. Let's go with a straight up potion of heal wounds. And once more, for good measure. Gosh darn it, they should be close to killing. Which species do I still have left? See, this is where I should have been paying more attention when you were listing all the species earlier. But most have advanced. Let's see, we have Naga, Octopode, Mummy, Baraki, Phalid. I'm probably missing someone if I had to guess. But those are the 5 that come to mind, at least. We're getting pretty dang close to the end. As long as we can get some decent momentum going as time continues to march forward here. And there we go. Finally up to Mindalay for our bow. You love to see it. So I think we'll turn fighting and evocations on. Evocations can even cap out somewhere along the line. Can maybe focus fighting. Even that can cap out if it gets up to something ridiculous like 20. And then what? Maybe armor? Dodging? Can just have a lot of things on the back burner. Now that everything's looking pretty honky-dory, we can kind of just let things naturally fall into place. And you poor unfortunate soul, diving right into my poison. But there we go, we managed to kill these Spriggans. Scary stuff. Meteorite, of course. Yeah, unless something huge happens and I manage to get through an absurd amount of characters in the next, what, like 3 weeks here, Meteorite will probably be around. Because I have generally tried to make sure any new species are made use of, shall we say. But okay. What do I do against you this time? If I can hit with a Curare Dart, that's huge. Or not. If I can hit with a net, that's cool too. We might get sent to the Abyss. At least our character is potentially strong enough to survive the Abyss this time, but it's still not great. Let's see. Do I bother with something like a summoning scroll? I could even potentially do a lig potion. I don't think I can get banished. No, like, teleporting works, right? Okay, don't banish me while I walk over here. Perfect. Then I'm gonna quaff lig. Oh, this is a bad place to have done it. I regret my actions, because we have 2 polearm users just blasting us from beyond the pale here, and that's not great. So don't do as I do, folks. This was probably not my best option. Auto Explorer with Meteor Run got fixed. Oh, interesting. You're a bit worried about species that can't be out-tabbed. What happens with Auto Explorer on a Meteor? Because yeah, I assumed that you just wouldn't be able to, and that would just kind of be the way it works, the way the cookie crumbles, as it were. Nothing appears to happen. Oh, can you not do that? Huh. Well, that's interesting. Let's go for the Might Potion. Let's go for a Heal Wounds if it's available. And oh my gosh, we got so lucky with the kill there. And then swap back to our bow. And at least we're not completely boned by becoming a tree. Oh my gosh, that Spriggan Druid could have made things take a turn for the work real quick, like if they'd enraged the trees around us. Holy moly. Please don't start a forest fire. Not while I'm just standing here in the middle of the trees. And in fact, I was a tree, so it probably would have been a bit of a worst case scenario, arguably so. But not too shabby here. There are probably more Spriggans in this stupid forest. I kind of want to just leave. Well, you're not a Spriggan. You're also not a Spriggan. Kind of have a lot of the same annoyances that a Spriggan does, but still much more palatable for me to be killing right now. Perfect. It doesn't rest to full. Oh, that makes sense. Interest place looks like lair, but it's actually depths. Yeah, and the depths forests are one of my least favorite areas because those Spriggan bands are a nightmare. I mean, normally you only have to deal with that number of Spriggan defenders when there's also like the Enchantress around or something, which, don't get me wrong, terrifying in its own right, but at least a bit more expected. In this situation, you just kind of hate to see it. Let's keep blasting through with the Stormbow here. Fantastic stuff. And don't have to worry too much about it. Perfect. I was starting to wonder if we'd have to do a bit more positioning instead of kind of just doing our equivalent to O-Tab, more of an OP kind of action for us with the ranged weapons here, but still the same effect at the end of the day. And oh my gosh, there's still so much of this stupid forest to explore, and I'm so scared. Oh, never mind, you're all dead. Don't know what I was scared about. It's perfect. Ooh, interdimensional caravan. I have an absurd amount of magic mapping scrolls, so don't mind. If I quickly check that out. To areas here. There's also one at the very end of that hallway, which is probably where I'm looking to go. The rest of these look like they might just be regular old shops. You know what? I do not have time to take care of you kids right now. Let's head over this stairwell here. +5 rapier protection. Gotta be kidding me. What do I do against you, my friend? This would be nice to have Box of Beasts, because having an ally by our side does a lot of the work for me. Alternatively, I think I need to step up so that I can Ice Blast right about there. Perfect. And let's see, is this going to be the stairs I want? Heck yeah, it is. And now, so I don't lose too many arrows to deep water, even though I'm not, like, overall too concerned about it. We, again, have a lot of arrows, you never know, so let's maybe be slightly cautious about how many we use up. Do I bother checking if that's the interdimensional caravan? Interdimensional, you know, as we all know and love it. Interdimensional is too much of a mouthful, really, at the end of the day. Very distant, but oh my gosh, this is going to be like hell or abyss then. This is not the right way. Ooh. Transparent chainmail, though? Some points of RN, hey? Evocable invisibility? AC goes down a tiny bit, but that's kind of interesting. Limited by arrow, exactly, you're laughing and drunk at me. Completely fair enough. Let's head here. No? Oh my gosh, it is this. Okay. well, dig through that real quick, and let's kill you. Let's drop some of this baloney real quick. This can be picked up later. Even these can kind of be picked up later, but maybe we'll hold off. Polymorph Wand may or may not be picked up later. Might leave that one by the wayside in the future. Brilliance Potions for now. That should be enough for him. I'm sure we won't find too much. Let's check it out, shall we? Maxwell's Thermic Engine. This is a fun sword. I love the fact that you get flame and freeze. I believe this is the one that, yeah, whenever you hit something, it gains an enchantment rating up to a max of something or another that I don't know for sure. It's really fun, but it can be hard to get rolling. -1 base accuracy. Unless you get lucky early on in the fight, it's a bit rough, but 15 base damage versus our current 8. And it's only 1,000. We'll at least have to think about it. Nothing really here for us. Nothing really here for us. Could check out an artifact robe, but I think that that's getting a little optimistic and desperate to boot. Let's buy some of these heal wounds potions though. Love that for us. And we might as well buy the thermic engine, even if we don't end up using it. That is pretty cool stuff. I'm a sucker for any unrand art really at the end of the day. And I think that's good. I think that's it. Orcs in Depths 3, it's a good day. I was worried about what we'd come to face popping around that corner, but no issues whatsoever. Love it. Let's also just immediately drop that. Fantastic. Alright, there's the Reaver that we saw earlier. Get me the heck out of Dodge as Spriggans start just pouring out of the woodwork. No, thank you. And before plus 300 triple fire resistance are like robe. Alas, we don't live to, or don't get to check it out. Just dual wield electric fire and ice swords. Oh my gosh. Become the true master of elementalism. It's a bit of a shame we're not with Quaslal if that's the angle we're going with. But okay, I hate what we saw here. That is going to be a pain in the rear. Let's at least maybe hope to fight them in this hallway. Okay, if you could just chill. That would be nice. You're not going to chill. Paralysis Gaze could end it all, so I think I have to just murder you real quick like. This is at least okay. Fighting off against all these sons of guns. Man, Spriggans are the worst, hey? You're not yet with Quaslal. I guess it's never too late, right? If we so desire. Okay, I need some method of dealing with you kiddos. I apparently don't have the Slain. About 98% chance to evade the Stormbow. Okay, there we go, 54. Note to self, do not use bow against these fools. Jeez. Oh crud, and you saw me, hey? Oh, jeez. Hate that. You know what? I'm gonna get some bodies in here. I just need you kids to block the path, as it were, if possible. Go my minions. Oh gosh, they're all dying. Go my minions. Oh heck yeah, buddy. There we go. That's the ticket. Oh, again, I hate Spriggans. The ring. Oh, blink. 2 pips cold resistance, 3 pips of negativity. What the heck is even that? That's not you. Wait, did I not pick that up naturally? Did I already choose to ignore it or something? That doesn't sound like me. Yes, please. Holy moly. Even evocable blink. Oh, it's kind of useless because we're Formicid. Ignore me, don't mind me. But cold resistance and positive energy if we ever need it. In fact, I think, is that better than this one? This one gives us cold vulnerability, bit of evasion. Yeah, I'll take it. 7 Scrolls of Fear. Again, if they worked on Spriggans, then maybe I'd see a bit more value in them. I say as if they offer no value. If we're being honest, there's still a ton of value to be offered by Fear Scrolls as the game continues onward, but we're just gonna focus on the negative. Okay. Are you evasive? I feel like you are. Okay, not super evasive. That's manageable, to say the least. Stormbow also absolutely slaps against the Dread Liches. Again, any summoner is a bit boned when you can just immediately smite target them with a wonderful weapon like this. Love to see it. They can't dodge Quaslal Clouds. Yet another reason why we should be with Quaslal. I mean, sure, we would have had to survive up until this point, but I'm sure we would have made do. When has that ever been a problem? Hello, friend. 42% chance to evade the Stormbow. Okay, so you're not as painful as our other friends. Still not great. Especially, yeah, now that you're Berserk, we're in trouble. I wish I had some more Ice Blast, if I'm being honest, but this is undodgeable. Just need the kill? Heck yeah. And hopefully we can charge that up once more before we run into too many more Spriggans. Or just kill them, that works too. And that's just what we needed. Even more heavy dodge enemies. Hello, Sojibo. 98% chance to avoid the Stormbow? Well, screw you too, I guess. It's not too late, I'm strong enough to handle Gozeg Wrath just fine. I couldn't do my main squeeze Gozeg like that. Don't get me wrong, in general, I don't really, whatchamacallit, I do not give up on gods. There's a better word for that I'm blanking on right now, but I think you might know what I'm talking about. What is it? Why is my brain broken? You get wrath when you excommunicate, when you leave, when you abandon. There's another word. Anyway, we will not forswear ourselves today, at the very least. And there we go. It's pretty sure our own little Sojibo would immediately get abjured. But hey, that's fine. We'll just continue moving on here. What do I do against Sojibo, though, is the real question of the hour. I think I kind of need something like a box of beasts. Get that confusion effect hitting. We might be in business. Do I want to switch to the Macabre Finger Ring as well? That's something that we kind of passed by pretty quickly. It's still very much have an interest in, but I'm not sure if we will end up doing so. Hello, friends. If one of you could block the way real quick, perfect. That kind of works. Then I can just really painfully do some manual aiming there in order to take best advantage of our lovely storm bow, or bow of the stone. Jeez, I can't talk at all. I was trying to say bow of the storm variety, but apparently that is just not something my brain is capable of both thinking up and speaking in the same breath there. What else is new? And just what I wished for this Christmas, more Spriggans. At least the Berserkers are slightly easier to hit than all the flying sons of guns with repelled missiles and whatnot and all that baloney. At some point we're still, I'm sure, going to run into Sojibo yet, but hopefully not anytime too soon. At least not if we have anything to say about it. You know what, let's bring all of you kids out here real quick, shall we? This seems like a nice place to hang out and deal some damage. Not too shabby. But if I abandon Gozeg, I could instead be asking silly questions, like what do I do against Sojibo? Ask deep questions, like what do I do against a hasted Sojibo? Yeah, that's exactly what our run is missing. I think you're on to something there. It's honestly just, it's been too easy, you know? We need to bring back the excitement. I love a shapeshifter taking the form of a scorpion. Oh, jeez. Dog just made me jump. She freaked out and curious. Somebody must have pulled up and gone out of their car. That sounded like that kind of bark. Haven't watched the latest season of The Boys, so Jabo will always be Soulja Boy in your head. Fair enough, for sure. Being somebody who grew up in the early 2000s, I also think of Soulja Boy in my head, but a different one. Soulja Boy, tell him. But that's funny. I still haven't finished the latest season of The Boys. I think... How far are we now? We probably got to like episode 5? Maybe 6? I don't know. I know that we very recently saw the flashback episode from the General, so... We finally got to see Soulja Boy after hearing so much about them. I really like Jensen Ackles, so it's super fun seeing him play an absolute dirtbag. But okie dokie, Soulja Boy. Do we dance one last time? Oh, I don't know what I can really do against you. Ooh, crank that Soulja Boy. Oh, ooh, crank that Soulja Boy. Watch me crank that, watch me roll, watch me shoot that lightning bolt. Okay, hold up. One brief moment. I need to see what dog was freaking out about.